How much are you charging your clients? Because I guarantee you it is not enough. And one of the easiest ways that you can increase the amount of money that you're getting from each and every client is simply to bump up your rate. And that will lead to more money every month and more money every year and a healthier freelance business. Pricing is one of the most underrated, undervalued, and under-talked about elements of running a successful freelance business. See, the problem is most people approach pricing in one of two ways. They just look at what somebody else is charging and they use that as a baseline, or they price their services as if it's a commodity. So they'll price it by the hour, by the word, something like that. Problem is, that latter approach, where you're just pricing it as a commodity, makes it very difficult to communicate value. It opens up awkward negotiations with clients where they're like, well, I don't want to pay you that much per word or that much per hour. You have to sell your services based on impact, not time, based on the value that they provide for the client. Because if you pay me $2,000 for this, and in the past these things have generated up to $50,000 for my clients, that person's not even going to question that $2,000. If you say, I'm going to charge you $2,000 for this and it's going to take me 2 hours to complete, they're going to say no. So always focus on the impact and the time. Impact over time. Impact and the sort of benefits of purchasing that service. If you just go by somebody else's service, you're not really going to make any sales. Because the problem is you're not that person. You don't have the same audience. You don't have the same level of experience. And generally, if you're copying the pricing of somebody else, they've been doing this a lot longer than you. You're copying them because they're somebody you admire. They're further down the path than you. You're not going to be able to charge the same that they do. It's just not possible. What you have to do is you have to figure out what you need to earn to survive, break that down by project, figure out a fair rate for you to cover your time, add a little bumper on top to ensure that it encapsulates the value that the client will be receiving from you, and then build it from there. You sell a couple of those services, then you bump up the price by 10%, and then you bump up the price by 10% until you hit that ceiling where the client says no. That's all a very high level overview. I'm going to get into exactly how to do this now and how to present those prices in a way that makes one particular price point of your service far more attractive to the client. Little concept called price anchoring. So I'm going to share my screen. We're going to go through price anchoring, and then I'm going to run you through the freelance rate sheet calculator I put together that will help you figure out exactly how to price your services. So here's my screen. This is LeadPages, which is a wonderful landing page creation software, and I would recommend it to everybody, especially because the standard is only $25 a month. What you'll notice on this sales page or the pricing page is that there are 3 tiers of service. These are all for the same product, right? You don't get a different product for $48 or $199. You just get more features and more benefits of that product. Most popular is this middle one. Whether it's the most popular or not, I don't know. But it is the one that they want you to purchase because this is what most people are going to be viewing as the best deal. Why? Because they've put the low and the high priced on either side of it. There's an old saying which is if you want to sell a $2,000 watch, the best way to do that is to put it next to a $10,000 watch. Reason being, somebody walks into your store and they see a $2,000 watch, they're going to go, fuck, that's an expensive watch. If you put it next to a $10,000 watch, that $10,000 is the new price point that's anchored in their mind. That has set their perception of the value. They're no longer looking at a $2,000 watch thinking it's expensive. They're looking at it in comparison to the $10,000 watch. And so they're thinking, not that it's $2,000, but that it's a saving of $8,000. People are weird like that. You've just got to, understand these basic psychological principles to really make it a lot easier. But that's what these 3-tier price plans do, is they anchor this price as the most valuable, the best deal. If you look, it's basically double the price, 25 to 48, so 25 to 50, but you get far more than just double the features. You get, instead of 1 site, 3 sites, you get all of the same stuff and you get all of this extra stuff down here. And that stuff's the more valuable stuff, like A/B testing, email trigger links, text campaigns, all of that included. And that's usually more expensive stuff for a minor increase in price. So that $25 a month one is only there to make this look like it's an absolute better offer. Like a tiny bit increase in the fee, a massive increase in the value. Then you've got this one where it goes from 48, almost 4x up to, or does 4x, more than 4x, up to 200 a month. And you'll see that the value does increase by a lot, and it's built for a very specific kind of person who can afford it and who needs it. But it's really there to make this $48 a month seem like an absolute steal. It's there just to make this look like it's a much better offer. And you need to do the same with your freelance services. You need to have 3 tiers of service for each deliverable that you offer. I'm not saying that this needs to be blogs over here for the 25 and the 48 is sales pages and the 200 is an email sequence. That's not the way this shit works. This is all for the same service. So if we're saying that it's all for blog articles, it will be 1, 2, 3 for blog articles, and you will just increase the level of value and deliverables and what the client is going to get for each service. Also, I do find it odd how they've gone from right to left, from low to high. But anyway, so that's what we're going to work out here. Is we're going to use blog writing as a potential use case because it's the one thing that most of us can relate to. We've all done blog writing, let's be honest. And we're going to go through the freelance rate sheet calculator that I put together and explain how to come up with 3 tiers of your service that will ensure that you not just hit your minimums every month, but hit the goal earning that you want to get. Here we go. So here it is. If you want to you can't edit this version of it. You need to copy this to your own drive or download it, because this one is for everybody to then copy, so it needs to stay clean and clear. So you just go up here, file, make a copy, we'll copy it to your drive, download as Microsoft Excel. I am not sure if the formulas will carry over if you download it. Somebody let me know if it does. So the first thing we're going to figure out is the minimum that you need to earn every month. This is the very, very minimum that you need just to survive, right? To keep a roof over your head and food on the table. So we're going to put down the absolute essentials here, and we're going to write down how much they cost you every month. So rent, and these are all just numbers that I just made up on the spot. Some of them are way off for what they should be. But yeah, rent, mortgage, $1,500, transport, utilities, food, healthcare, emergency funds. Always got to have an emergency fund because, shit happens. If you need to add anything else in that I've not included, you just add it in. And you'll see that the formula down here, 2,800, now 2,950. Perfect. This is the minimum monthly earning. That's the very, very minimum that you need to hit just to cover all of your bills. Any credit card debt, anything like that, add them in here. These are all things that you cannot afford to not pay every month. Thing is, this is just for your reference. We're not going to base how much we charge people and how we price our services on the minimum every month, because nobody wants to just live paycheck to paycheck, right? So we're also going to put in our goal earnings. This is what we need to earn to live the life that we want to live. All of these essentials that you have to cover every month are there, and then maybe you've got a travel fund that you'll put $250 away every month, a savings fund of 150, luxury purchases of 200 every month. Whatever these are, add things in just to get the final number, and then that will be your goal monthly earning. Now this is what we're aiming to hit every month as an absolute minimum, because we want you to go on vacations, we want you to have the savings for your retirement or the rainy day, and we want you to have those nice new pair of shoes that you've been looking at. So that's what we're aiming for. That is now going to be the minimum that we're aiming to hit. So we're going to go over here to the right, and the monthly post-tax earning. Remember, this is what you have to spend. So this is after the taxman takes his cut. So 3,800 is what we need every month, which means that our post-tax earnings for the year, and again, this is an automatic thing. This number here is automatically carried up to here, which automatically generates your yearly post-tax earnings. So you need 45,600. So let's call it $46,000 per year to live the life that you want to live. You're going to find a tax calculator. I'm using a UK one because I am in the UK. And you're going to have to play around here because a lot of these only let you put in the number pre-tax. So you kind of need to do the calculations in your head. So if I was to say, I need a 46,000, so what would that be? Nope, I need more than that. Ooh, nearly 86,000. Got to be that. No, let's just go for the big 90. Of course, there is also a disparity here because pounds to dollars is not 1-to-1. Oh wait, no, that was right. $90,000. What you're then going to do is, once you've figured out that yearly pre-tax goal, 90,000, that will also populate down here. There you go, perfect. Now you need to figure out how many hours per day you can work, how many hours per week you can work, because when you're freelancing, your income is tied to your time. You can't work 24 hours a day to hit that goal. So to charge accordingly, you need to figure out how much work you can actually put in and charge clients for. And that's the big difference. There are 9 average work hours per day. As a freelancer, you will not be able to bill all 9 because you have business admin tasks for yourself, self-promotion, all of these kind of things. You can't charge a client for that, so you're not going to be getting paid for it. My laptop sounds like it's about to take off. I will move that back so it doesn't get picked up on the mic. Move him there. I recommend that you go with 5 billable hours per day. That's reasonable. That gives you 4 hours to self-promote and find new clients and 5 hours to do paying work. Once you get the systems and processes down to grow your business, you can increase the number of hours that you get paid for and decrease the number of hours that you're doing that boring stuff like sending cold outreach. So hours per day, 5. How many days per week would you like to work? 5, because we're full-time. Total weekly hours, that's auto-calculated, so 25 hours a week that you can bill for. How many weeks per year would you like to work? 52 weeks in the year, but you need a couple of holiday weeks, right, for your nice vacation, so I'm knocking that down to 47. Give you a little bit of a break, 5 weeks of the year as vacation. Auto-calculates the total yearly hours, so you can bill for 1,175 hours if you follow this, which I would recommend maybe just leaving this as it is. The goal earning is $90,000. 1,175 hours, $90,000 means that you need to charge a minimum of $76 per hour to hit that goal, and that's assuming that you can hit 5 hours of billable time every single day. At every stage in these, always round it up. So 76 becomes 80. 85 becomes 90. Always round it up, just because it gives you that bit more wiggle room and make sure that you're going to overachieve if you manage to fill 5 billable hours per day. Let's get into these service tiers. So we're going back to this price anchoring idea. Service tier 1, service tier 2, service tier 3. Whatever your deliverables are. So for blog writing, I'm going to leave these as blank, but I'll change them for now. 1 article, $2,000, no, 2,000 words, yeah. This part here is not for clients. This is only for your reference. Your clients will not see this. This is just so that you can figure this out. So you're going to write down the different deliverables, and here in the white boxes underneath the service tiers, you're going to put how long it takes you to create that single deliverable. So that might be 2 hours, right? It'd be the same across all 3, unless if you do that, 2 hours there, 2 hours there, 2 hours there. Because in service tier 1, you're only offering 1 article. In service tier 2, you're offering 2. In service tier 3, you're offering 3. Whatever. You can also increase the value by saying you'll write some social shares, the posts, writing the promotional email that will go out to their email list, whatever. You want to build this out and write down the deliverables and then pick which deliverables go in which service tier. You basically want to increase the value and increase the fee at each point. You're going to put in the amount of time that it takes, and this works with everything from, put the numbers in. Basically what this will then do is take this rounded hourly rate and multiply it by the total hours. So that will only take you 2 hours to complete to write that thing. So 2 times 80 is 160. We round that up. $200. That's your new rate for writing a 2,000 word article. If they want 2 200 word articles, and we'll change that one to here, and a social post to promote it, which will take you half an hour, they need to pay $360, because 80 by 4.5 hours, 360. Round that up to 400. And again, with the service tier 3. Basically, the only thing that you really need to do here, the only bit that you need to think about is what deliverables are going to be in service tier 1, how you can increase the value for service tier 2 and make that seem like it's an absolute no-brainer to upgrade from service tier 1 to service tier 2, and what you're going to offer in service tier 3 that's going to make service tier 2 look like it is just an absolute steal. If you can do that, just pop in the number of hours here and you'll get basically service tier 1, 2 and 3 prices and how they increase. This is not a great example at the minute just because 246 is too close. This would need to be like 1,000 for that 600, and then that would make the bump that up to 500 seem like a much better deal. But that is basically what you should be doing. Let's delete all of these again so it's back to the basic for everybody. That's what you need to be doing. And if you follow that, you'll end up with 3 levels of the same service that are not only priced at a point where you're going to cover your minimum that you need to live the life that you want rather than the minimum to just survive. You're going to present it in such a way that it's going to be a no-brainer for the client to do it. Now what you do is once you start selling these, after a client has bought a service, the next client, you're going to bump the price up by 10%. And you're going to keep doing that. Each time you sell a service successfully, you're going to pump the price up just by 5 to 10% until you hit that hard ceiling where the client says, no, that's too expensive. And then you know exactly how much you can charge for that service. You can't charge the top rate services going in at the ground floor. You've got to work your way up like that. This will ensure that your starting point is still enough for you to hit the minimum that you have to earn to live the life that you want to live. And then you just gradually increase it moving forward. So that's that. That's how you charge proper prices for your freelancing. There's the dog, which means I've probably got to take him out. And yeah, I'll leave that with you. Good luck.